The Import XML Document tool imports XML documents to be used and processed by other task steps. The tool allows you to browse for or copy and paste a valid XSD file to be used as the schema for the step, or automatically infer the schema from the XML file content. You can also manually create a new schema or edit an existing one, which can be validated once the schema is prepared. You can set the timeout period for how long the Import XML Document tool attempts to import a file. After the expiry time, an error is written to the event log. To access the timeout dialog box, go to System, Tools, Input, and then double-click Import XML Document in the items list. Here, you set the import timeout period. The default is 2 seconds. Click OK to close. To add a new Import XML Document step to an existing task, let's go to the browser on the right, and under Input, drag in the Import XML Document tool. The General tab allows you to name and describe the step, and to define the input source. Below the description pane, we have the File name and path from a previous step checkbox. Enable this option to import an XML document previously imported by another task step. When selected, the source drop-down below reveals all available task steps that have previously imported an XML document. The Path pane displays the full folder path to the location of the XML document. Ensure the logged-in Windows user has read access to the path specified. The File name pane shows the XML document to be imported. Wildcards can be used to import multiple documents at task runtime. Let's move on to the Main tab. Here you can define an XML schema to validate the imported XML document. The Import XML Document tool adheres to the industry standard XSD format. You can define the schema by either manually entering it into the text box or using the Browse to XSD XML file button to import an existing file. Once you locate the file you wish to use, click Open. It will then appear in the Schema pane. After this, click Validate Schema to ensure no errors exist in the XSD file prior to runtime. Alternatively, the Import XML Document tool can infer the schema from a sample XML document. Either copy and paste it into the text box, or import it with the Browse to XSD XML file button. Then click Infer Schema from XML to define the XSD file. Click Validate Schema to ensure no errors exist in the XSD file prior to runtime. Once you have defined your schema, click on the Output XML tab to preview the structure. The Extract File Properties button allows you to specify which of the imported XML document's file properties are made available in the task browser at runtime. The Options tab allows you to define how errors in this step are handled when the task is run. If an XML validation error occurs when processing the current document, you can choose to either abort step, regardless of whether there are unprocessed files remaining, or continue with the next matching file. If there are no more matching files, the step is completed. If a file cannot be accessed, you can choose to either abort step or continue with the next matching file. If either of the above options are set to abort step, you can choose what happens to the whole task itself with these options. Lastly, with the If No Files Could Be Processed option, you can choose to continue processing onto the next step in the task, or terminate the whole task immediately. And that's it for this BPA platform tool overview video. Call us for further information or visit codelessplatforms.com. Thanks for watching.